Russell Wilson, questionable for the Pittsburgh Steelers week 1 opener against the Atlanta Falcons. He was limited in practice today, said he didn't do much team stuff. He spoke to the media after practice and kind of dove into a lot, and we are going to play the clip of him from the locker room. But first, questionable, a ton of questions that come with that. Obviously, the biggest one is there an opportunity for him to play, or is he going to miss week 1 against the Falcons? I'll let everybody interpret that for a short being before we give our predictions, our expectations come Sunday. Let's listen to what Russ had to say in the locker room post-practice.
Kind of walk us through what happened?
Yeah, I just felt a little tight. I just wanted to be smart about it. Obviously, play the game on Sunday. Hoping I get to be in it, obviously, but just trying to get ready to go.
So at this point, you're expecting to still start on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my body ready to go and rock and roll. So we're doing everything we can.
How much were you able to do today out there?
I just tried to focus on the throws. Really, didn't try to do too much. I tried to be smart, knowing that we have all of today and tomorrow, and then obviously Sunday morning. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is you hate these the nagging things. I've been feeling great, honestly, the past few weeks. I've been feeling really good. So just kind of felt a little funny yesterday. I think the most important thing is just getting prepared to win. I think that's our focus right now, doing whatever we can, obviously myself included, and obviously getting ready to rock and roll. And I'll be ready to go if I can go. I'm going to go and try to do everything I can to help us win.
So anytime that somebody comes out and goes to the podium and is asked, "You going to play on Sunday? You feel like you're going to play on Sunday?" And his response is, "Yeah, I'm doing what I can to get my body right." It's immediately a no. It's almost guaranteed a no. I'm not going to play on Sunday, especially in the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room. Now, I got to give Russ credit where credit is due. A ton of credit. Russ is a great dude, and I have zero complaints of who Russell Wilson is as a person to the media. He's actually one of my favorite players in the locker room right now, just because he's so respectful. He's always super nice. He's cordial to, me and everybody else who's asking him dumb questions. And this is one of those instances where he could have avoided us. He didn't have to talk to the media. They could have sent Justin up there, and Justin could have answered some questions and said, "Yeah, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm preparing to play like a starter." Instead, he went to a meeting, came back from that meeting, and then spoke to all of us and gave us as, run around answers as he could, while also trying to be genuine. And I think that, in my eyes, that's big. That's something big for a quarterback or any player to do, because you'd be real surprised. You probably actually wouldn't, but as they say, you'd be real surprised about the guys who would avoid that situation. Now, let's start talking the important thing here. Not how Russell Wilson is with the media. Is Russell Wilson going to play in week 1? And if I had to guess, the answer is no. Russ did not do enough, in my eyes, the last 2 days being a limited participant to go out there and be the starting quarterback on Sunday. Justin Fields is preparing like the starter. You got to think that one day would have been okay. If it was Wednesday into Thursday, it would have been okay. Thursday into Friday means that this is very close to game day. The Steelers have decisions to make. They have to go through meetings. They have to finalize the game plan. They have to go to the hotel and talk about everything there. And there is a million things that are going to happen between right now and Sunday morning. And the Pittsburgh Steelers just don't have time to be messing around and waiting to see if Russell Wilson is going to be available when they are almost clear that he is not going to be available. And therefore, if I had to guess, Russell Wilson is a no-go on Sunday, and it is Justin Fields time. Now, that opens a whole can of worms, and you could have every hypothetical you could possibly toss out there. Is this Justin Fields' game? Is this his opportunity to go out there and win? Is he going to win the starting job? What if he plays well? Where do the Pittsburgh Steelers go from there? Who knows? I'm not getting my hopes up for the Steelers offense with Justin Fields out there, just like I didn't get my hopes up for the Steelers offense with Russell Wilson out there. I don't think it makes anything better. I don't think it makes anything worse, but I don't think it makes anything better. And the way I look at this week is the Pittsburgh Steelers offense has a ton of questions, and now they get an opportunity to see what Justin Fields could bring to the field. And if he is starter worthy And I think that's a question that the Pittsburgh Steelers needed to answer at some point this season. I didn't expect it to come in week 1. To be honest with you, I didn't expect it to come at all, but I knew it was a question that they needed to answer, or should be answering, I guess, and they get an opportunity to do so. That is as far as you could take this conversation, I believe, because you can't dive into, well, what if he throws for 400 yards and runs for 200 yards and he's the greatest quarterback of all time? Well, then you continue to play that quarterback. But what if he stinks? What if he goes out there and the Pittsburgh Steelers can't win this game and they don't even come close and the offense struggles and everybody turns it off by halftime? Well, then you go back to Russell Wilson next week. And it's a coin flip whether or not it's going to be that or the other side, or quite frankly, middle of the road, nothing changes. Justin looks just good enough. No big deal. You go back to Russ next week. But to be limited twice in all the video portions of practice that you could take, you could look at Russ warming up with the guys, but really, he's kind of off by the trainer doing his own thing, which is not a good sign. And if I had to guess, Russ is not out there on Sunday, and that news will probably come tomorrow at some point. Tomorrow morning is when I would imagine we get a final word that it's Justin Fields time, week 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's up, guys? It's football season, and we've teamed up with DraftKings. Right now, new customers who bet $5 will receive $250 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, you'll receive 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. It's hard to think of a better way to celebrate fall weather, your favorite jersey, and Sunday touchdowns than with the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings app and use our promo code ALLSteelers. That's $250 in bonus bets instantly and 1 month of NFL Plus Premium after betting just $5. Stay in the action and use your $250 in bonus bets to bet anytime touchdowns on DraftKings. DraftKings is the place to bet touchdowns. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You could still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code ALLSteelers and bet just $5 on any wager and get $250 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code ALLSteelers only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
I'd be a little surprised if we saw that. I think in the building, they might know that, but I think outside of the building. And
No.
I was going to say, I think outside of the building that they're going to keep that as questionable, because why not at the very least try to throw out the Falcons till the last second?
So I agree with you. But the Steelers typically, if there is somebody who is not going to play, who comes in questionable, updates that status on Saturday, unless it is a guarantee that they are going to really be questionable and really be a game time decision come Sunday. And I think the Steelers would want to put word out there before Schefter, because Schefter's going to know. Rappaport's going to know. Like, Russell Wilson's agent will be well aware of if Russell Wilson is going to play or not play come Saturday after the walkthrough. That's when I anticipate. I mean, and if they've done it with names like TJ Watt in the past, I imagine that they'll do it with Russell Wilson this time around. I will agree with you I agree with the sentiment, though, because there were a lot of people today that I was speaking with that had different opinions of, the Steelers are going to rule him out tonight. No chance the Steelers were ruling him out tonight. There is no way they're giving the Falcons 2 full days to game plan against Justin Fields, whether they believe that the Falcons believe he's going to play or not. Doesn't matter. They were not giving him 2 days. I think tomorrow, you could be right on Sunday, but if I had to guess, typically it's a Saturday, like late morning, just as you're trying to enjoy your Saturday morning college game day, you know what I mean? And then boom, you get slapped in the face with some Russell Wilson's not going to play news. Either way, he's not stepping on the field. This is Justin Fields' game in week 1 against Atlanta. And then you kind of go from there. Let me toss this. It's not a hypothetical, but let me toss this question at you, okay? Is there a better situation for Justin Fields to be in right now than to have the entire summer to have practiced with the Pittsburgh Steelers and their starters and now get an opportunity to come in here and be the guy not week 2, not week 5, not week 10, but week 1 after you just finished pretty much an entire training camp being the starting quarterback with the group that you are going into the season with.
Yeah, I think Justin Fields definitely wanted to get an opportunity. The fact that he gets that opportunity in week 1 is best case scenario for Justin Fields. For the Steelers, obviously, it's a little bit more difficult because now you're trying to kind of play your hand as it comes to you, and that's not going to be easy for them as the season progresses, especially with something like a calf injury for Russell Wilson. But for Justin Fields, I mean, this is perfect. You don't have to sit on the bench for 5 weeks and kind of lose a little bit of the momentum you had. You get to go right out there. And after taking the bulk majority of the preseason snaps with the 1s and 2s, you get to go out there and be the first guy to take on the 1s in real regular season action. This is, for Justin Fields specifically, the best case scenario for him to be able to go out there and show what he's made of as part of the Steelers.
Yeah, this is as good as it gets for the Pittsburgh Steelers and for Justin Fields. And yeah, the Steelers want it to be Russell Wilson, but the Steelers also get an opportunity very early in this entire situation that they were not going to get, and they weren't going to give themselves an opportunity to get. Now they look at this and they say, I don't care how bummed they are about Russell Wilson. I think Justin Fields gives them equally as much of an opportunity to win this game. I don't think Justin Fields goes out there and blows everybody away, but I didn't expect Russell Wilson to go out there and blow everybody away. I just expected them to do enough to win a football game. The way I look at it now is the Steelers get a shot week 1 to find out if they made a mistake, and I don't think it changes much. I think it would take a whole ton to change their minds. But if they made a mistake, and do they have something in Justin Fields that's worth putting their time and effort into? And I mean, Mike Tomlin said it himself, practice means a lot, games mean a lot more. So the way we sit here right now, it is a massive decision. We'll find out more on Sunday. What are your hopes for Justin Fields? What do you, if you were to predict good game, bad game, medium game, not enough, what's your thoughts?
I think he'll perform well. And I think as far as what I expect, he's always played well against the Atlanta Falcons. The last 2 years, he's gone there and played really well in his home state and his home city. So I expect him to go out there and do the same thing. But again, I think it's going to be similar level of play whenever you look at positive versus negative that you would have gotten with Russell Wilson, but it's just going to look different because it's going to be a lot more positive plays on the ground. And honestly, it might look similar to what we saw last night from the Baltimore Ravens, where Justin Fields has to go out there and kind of make plays on his own because the offensive line is still a major question mark. It was a question for the Ravens going into last night, and it looked horrible for the Ravens. You're hoping it looks better for the Steelers, but it could look similar to where Justin Fields has to make a lot of off-schedule plays, and a lot of those being with his legs.
Yeah, that's who do you think's offensive line looked worse, the Pittsburgh Steelers in the preseason or the Baltimore Ravens in week 1?
It's that one's tough because I think I'd say it's the Baltimore Ravens, but at the same time, in that the Buffalo Bills game, the Steelers offensive line looked really bad. But last night, for 4 quarters, the Ravens. So I'll give the nod to the Steelers in this one simply because it was preseason and they were only out there for a handful of drives.
Let's talk about game time. I could still taste the popcorn and the soda and smell the beer of my first Pittsburgh Steelers game. And yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars might have won that day, but I will never forget how loud Heinz Field was and how rocking that stadium was on the North Shore. Gametime has this new feature called Gametime Picks that makes things like getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Gametime Picks filters out all the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. I have an upcoming concert in Cleveland the day after the Pittsburgh Steelers play against the Browns, and instead of sitting there clicking on every single section, I'm just going to use Gametime Picks. Let's talk about why it's so great. Curation makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. On top of that, you get all-in pricing, which means that you get the total cost up front with no surprise fees at checkout. On top of that, you get seat views because nobody wants to buy some nosebleed seats for cheap and take a guess on whether you're staring at a pole or you just got the greatest deal in the entire venue. Plus, the lowest price guaranteed, or Gametime will credit you 110% of the difference. Gametime ticket coverage means that your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code ALLSteelers for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code ALLSTEELERS for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, low prices, guaranteed.